Hi everybody, and I'm Aja, and welcome to Aja's Comfy Crochet Corner. So today I'm displaced a little bit. I'm outside of my normal corner because I'm here working on this lovely 8-point star, which will turn into an Afghan. And I'm just blown away at how vibrant these colors really are. And I'm going to be putting a whole lot of them in there. And when I'm done this piece, I'm going to load it up to my Instagram and I'll make sure I take tons of pics. So if you like it and you have any questions about how I did it, maybe we can start up a tutorial. It depends on how many likes this one gets. So we're not here for that, so I'm going to leave this alone. We are here for our first tutorial in our Granny Square segment that I have just been blown away with. It started with me just making a few with scrap yarn, and then it turned into this massive thing. This will be one of our next projects. But today we're here for Granny Squares in gray. This piece is going to work up in a size 10 for a girl. If you would like to make this piece larger, you can use a different size hook, put extra rounds in it. Whatever you have to do, you can do it. Because I like for everyone to create their own original pieces off of my inspirations. So we'll be working on our Granny Square sweater. I've already put a link to that in the description box for my last tutorial. I have already worked up one block and it shows you exactly how to make the same blocks that I am making in order to achieve a girl size 10. Now, if you want to use more blocks or put extra rounds around your blocks, that'll be great. It'll give you a larger piece. Make it your own. You can do it. So we're going to get really right into it because this is a large tutorial. And I can't wait to see how you guys love the sweater afterwards. Please feel free to give me any info and comments in the comment section. I can't wait to hear from you. Let's get the hooking. Hi crochet friends. So what we have here is 72 blocks, granny squares. So for this project we're going to need 72 of them. So what I want to do is show you what it is that I do. So before I piece it together, I need to know what goes where. So because we're using random colors, I like to lay it out so I know that I don't have too many of the same type of blocks, which the same colors in it, in the same area. So it works great for me. Maybe it'll work great for you. So up here we have the hood. So for the hood, we need 4 by 3. So I made sure that's laid out so we don't have too many of the same blocks clustered together. So this is the hood. Now let's go over here. Now this would be the arms. So we need 4 for the arms, but we need 2 because we're going to be laying them side by side. So we map that out. Okay, so you need 2 rows with 2 in it for that. So over here, this would be the back. We have 6 rows by 3. So 6 by 3 for the back. That's the whole entire back right here. 6 by 3. Now over here, we have the sides, which is going to come down right here on the back. And we're going to need 2 sides. So we have 2 rows of 5. Because the sides are always going to be 1 less than the back and the front. And down here, we have the front. So this is going to be the front panels. And we need 2 panels for the front. And that's 6. So it's going to be 2 rows of 6. But this will be 1 front side and this will be 1 front side. And then your pockets. You can never forget your pockets. We don't do anything without pockets. So your pockets, and these will get folded together, sewn up, so that we have the opening for the pocket. So you'll need 4 squares for pockets. And again, lay it out So you can make sure you don't get any of the same colors. You want it randomly put out. Not so random because we're kind of organizing it, but put them all out so you can see what you have. All right, now let's get to working these things up. To work on with the back sides facing you. Back sides facing you. And we're going to be working in the corners. So we're going to take our hook and slide it through there. Now this should be a simple process. It's just a tedious one because you have to put all of these blocks together. So we're going to take our yarn, wrap it around our finger, grab this in, and pull that through. I leave it on my finger because we want to slip our needle on there. I usually take finger here and press it down to anchor it. And we're just going to add this on to here. And I pull down tight, way we got a lock there. I don't want anything coming apart. Now, you're going to notice I always crochet over my ends. You can always weave them in. If that's not what you do, don't worry about it. So to start, I want to make one single crochet. Okay? Then we're going to go back in this hole, grab our yarn, pull through, and make one single crochet. So we now have attachment. Yes, we do. Alrighty. So as you can see, all of this should line up. You should have three, a space. 3, a space, 3, a space. So I want you to go find that first space and find the first space on this one, and I want you to do a single crochet. That locks them together. So I want you to find the second one right at the top of the double crochet. And on this one, right on the top of the double crochet. And I want you to lock that together with a single crochet. And now we come to this one. This is our third double. Right here on the top. You can see it is a nice big space. You're going to go through there and you're going to match up on the other side with that third double. And you're going to lock that in place with a single crochet. So it's really, really that simple. You're going to find the next one, then the start of the next cluster, right at the top of that first double crochet, and right on top of this cluster, that one. And there you go. Single crochet it out. And we're going to find the second one, and the second one back here, and we're going to make a double, make a single to lock it on out. Find the third double crochet, and you're going to go in the top of that one, and you're going to find the third one back here, and you're going to go through there, and you're going to make a single crochet to lock it in. And there you go. We're going to keep going all the way down like that. Now when you really get good is when you don't have to do that, because if you want to, you can look right here on the top and you can see where they both are, and you can go through just like that. See, the first one and the second one, it's right there. So you should be able to go through. If it's not lining up, that means somewhere you have different sizes going on with your blocks. But if you're not that advanced to be able to go through both of them without looking, then no worries. You just find the first hole in the first cluster and the first hole on this cluster and pull up go through 2 loops. You got your first single, and find the second one and the second one here. Grab it, come through. There you go. Another single and the third here. Grab it, pull through the loop. And now we come to the big corner. So you're going to go through both corners, one here, and that is it. We have now attached our first block. It is secure on there. So to end that off, make a single crochet, pull down. Oh, how about that? We don't have our scissors. Let us grab our scissors. All right, Kahri, I'm going to need you to shorten that. So we have our scissors. I'm going to cut this. And we're just going to pull it right through the hole. There you go. We have attached our first block. So now I just want you to take your next block. And again, you're always working back to back. The backs are facing you. Back to back. You have to have the backs facing you. She will be undoing your work, and I've done it before and it's not fun. You don't want to do that. So make sure you have back to back. We're going to put our needle through there. And again, let me show you that slower for those who don't know how to do that. We're going to wrap around. Grab the part that's on your finger. Put a little thing through. There we go. Stick your needle through. Anchor it in the back by your finger. And pull through. Make a single crochet. Pull it down tight. And make one single crochet. And we're going to go in the hole, come out. We're going to make another single crochet. Catch my ends. I like to work over my ends. Gives me less to do. And if you want to do that too, you would just find the pieces, hold it down. So as you're working, going across, you will be going over it. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go in the first double in that cluster and the first double in the cluster over here. I'm going to make a single crochet. And here we're going to go in the second in that cluster and the second one over here, and we're going to make another single crochet. And again in the third one from the cluster, and again in the back here. So whatever you're doing in the front, you should be also doing in the back. So if you're on your first one in the cluster of 3, then you should be on your first one in the cluster of 3 behind here. And all of these pieces will get assembled in the exact same way. So there's going to be no change. You're going to be doing this over and over and over and over and over again. Let's see. Single, so we're at our third. Going to go through there. Go through the third in the back. Bring it up. And now we are at our first one in this cluster, so we want to be on our first one in that one, and single crochet. Again, we're at our second one. We want to be at our second one here, bring it through, put that down, and there you go. And now we're at our third, so we should be at our third here. And I think you're getting the hang of it. Got it. So last one, the first one, second one, and third one. Now we find ourselves back at a corner. We're going to go right through both of them. We're going to make our last single crochet. We're going to make another single. We're going to cut our yarn, and we're going to pull through the hole. So now, just like that, we have 3 blocks. We have 3 blocks all joined. So again, we're going to pick up our next one. Remember, backs facing you. And if you make a mistake, you'll just take it out. It's no big deal. See. We're going to wrap it around our finger. Grab the back end, under, I call it our almost knot. Might have another term, I don't know. I like to use my own terminology. Make a single crochet. I think the world is so much more colorful when you find your own words to express yourself in your actions. So we're going to go through the hole, come out, and that is our first single crochet in that row. I'm trying to gather my ends. So we're going to go through the first double. So we need to be going through the first double back here. And the second. The third, and the third back there, make our single crochet. We are moving along. And first in this cluster, and the first in the back, single crochet. Second, single crochet. Third, and single crochet. And first, and single crochet. And second, and single crochet. And third, and single crochet. Could make a little song out of this. And first, single crochet. We will not do that. I think my children have me programmed to make little songs for everything. That's how I get them to do stuff when they're little. So that's second. But I'm not going to show off those talents with you because I really can't sing. And the third, and then single crochet. Right, now we're going to go through that last one. There we go. Make another single crochet. Cut your yarn. Now let's pull through that hole. And I think you got it. But I'm going to keep working this one side up with you. And then you're on your own for the next side. Let's see. So remember, back's facing you. Gonna find the hole in the corner. Going to wrap this around our finger, grab the end, stick that through there, almost not, anchor it in the back with your finger, and pull it through the hole, and make a single crochet. So now we're going to go back in the hole, come up, make a single crochet, one, single crochet, two, single crochet, three, single crochet. You just do not know how I am fighting the urge to sing this as I do it. One, single crochet, two, single crochet, three, single crochet, one, single crochet. And we're going to keep working that all the way out. So I wonder, what things do you do to get by the tedious work? Do you make songs? Do you listen to music? My favorite is my Pandora Ed Sheeran playlist. That thing is life. I can listen to that and just work up and be lost in the zone. Because after a while, as you see, it gets very repetitious. You're just doing the same thing over and over. Just really a bunch of single crochets in every last top to every cluster, all the way to the last one. And one single crochet. Okay. And you're going to pull through. So if you haven't caught it by now, you're making one single crochet at the beginning and one single crocheting all the way down the line, and one single crochet after you have finished going through every hole. So let us do this last one together. And again, wrap around your finger, pull it up, go through the hole, grab it, so anchor it with your finger, going right through the hole, single crochet. We're going to make another single crochet and we're going to go through that hole. Let's see. So one single crochet in the first and single crochet, second and the second one and single crochet, third, get down, and the third and single crochet, and here single crochet, two single crochet, three single crochet, one single crochet. You know this is going to be in my head for the rest of the day. Two single crochet, three single crochet. All right, we're coming to our last stretch. So I'd like to know, write in my comments, let me know what things you like to do, little tricks you have to get through your tedious work. So you make up little jingles like me. So you put on your headphones and listen to some soft music. What do you like to do? So we're in the corner, Once we have our last one, we make one more single crochet, cut, and pull through. Just like that. We have done it, my friends. We have made our first front panel. First front panel, all done. So what I want you to do is I want you to take the second front panel and I want you to put it together in the exact same way. Fold it over and keep working on out. If you have any problems with the second one, refer back to the first one. But we're going to keep this moving. So I will see you back as soon as you finish with your second front panel. Okay, fam. So we have both of our fronts together and we put them off to the side. Now these are the sides. You have 2 panels of sides, just like the front. So I want you to go ahead. You already know how to put them together. I want you to go ahead and put the sides together in the exact same way. And when you're done, you should have 2 panels for that. And I'll meet you back here as soon as you're done. Okay, so now that you've worked up your side panels, they should look like this. You should have 2. So now we have our front done. We have 2 side panels. And now we're going to work on our arms. So off camera, I went ahead and worked up one of the arms. So this is what your finished product is going to look like. Arm. So let's move the finished product out of the way. So as you recall, we had 2 pieces. It's going to be 2 by 4. So what we're going to do here is I've already worked up the arm in the same manner that we worked up the front and the side. So if you would like, this is a perfect place to pause and take your 2 by 4 and just attach it straight up. Straight up. But once you've already done that, what we're going to do is take our 2 pieces and we're going to lay them in this manner. So you want the backs facing you. All backs facing you. And I'm going to show you how to attach these 2 pieces, which is just a little bit different than attaching the way we did the front and the sides and the pieces for the arm. Because here we're just going here. Now we have to go along here. So we will be doing this part right here for the back as well as for the hood. So I want you to get your yarn locked on your hand. I want you in the same manner in which we have been. You're going to start in the corner. So find your first corner. And you're going to go through both. You're going to attach this yarn in the same manner in which we have been. Attach it, chain 1, go right back in the hole, and make a single crochet. Now in the same manner in which we have been, we're going to find the first hole and first cluster and find the first in the back. And again, the second with the second, just like we've been doing. It isn't until we get to the corners that it's slightly different than what we already have been doing, but really not different. Okay. 1 and 1. And all of this should line up. That is why it's important to have everything lined up when you attach it, just 1 by 1 by 1, going the same way we did in the front. Very important to make sure everything matches up. That way when you're piecing this together, everything is going to fall right in line. 2, and the third one, this is our last set of clusters for this. 2, and 3. Alright, now this is the part where it's just a little bit different. Now you know you would, but it's not. So you know you would go in the corner. So make sure you get the corner in the front and the corner in the back. And make that single crochet. Now usually here we end, but we have a longer piece, so no ending here. So what we're going to do now is get that out the way so you can see. So there's the next corner. This piece right here where we have attached the 2 blocks together, we're not going to do anything with that. We're going to skip over right into the next corner and find the next corner right here in the back, and we're going to make our single crochet. So that is the only thing we got to look for. Again, like I said, it's pretty much, and then we go right back in, the first one here and the first one back here, and we keep going all the way until we get to the end. But I will work this whole arm with you on this side. That way there is no mistaking what it is that I'm requiring from you to do for this piece. So you're in the third, and again I'm working over my ends because that gives me less to do later on. Because when I did the blocks for this piece, I was a bit lazy and I didn't weave in any of my ends. I worked over my ends until I couldn't no longer do that. But in some cases, I have to go back and do the snipping of everything. So here we go, 1 and 1, 2, 2, single, 3, 3, single. And as I knew I was, of course, as soon as I started doing this off camera, I was singing my new little jingle, 1, 1, single. And yeah, it's really going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. Now we're back to the corner of the block, so we're going to go through both the front one and the back one. Now remember, we don't do anything with this joint piece. We're going to skip right over that and go right into the next block's corner and find the next block's corner right here, and we're going to go in there and single and work up everything as we have been. The first one, the first one, and the first one in the back, and single. The second one, and the second one, and single. Third, and the third, and single. And we're going to keep going down this line like that. Now, the way we're doing this right here, once we have our lines together for the back and the hood, we will be attaching it in the same manner. Here and here. And the 2. Oops. And 3. First one and the first one, our last cluster on this block, and the second one and the second one. Third. third. And we're going to go in each corner. This corner, single crochet. And again, we're going to skip over the work that we did to attach our blocks. And we're going to go in the corner of the last block, in the corner in the back. And go right back into it with the first one from the cluster here and the first one here. Sometimes you have to pull it back to be able to see the first one clearly, so you're not going into the second one and skipping over that first one. Because they're clusters of 3, you should be able to see if you have skipped really, really easy. So that's a quick fix thread. And then the first one first here. And always remember your blocks when you're working, they're facing, the back is facing you. I had to pull out off camera one of mine because of course I didn't listen to my own advice, and I crocheted one of them face up. So that was fun, but it wasn't too much of a mess. It's a quick fix. Mistakes are life. Don't worry about mistakes. Where are you going to make a mistake? Then you'll never live. Let's see. And the third one, and the third one here, and the third one, and the third one here. First one. It's a lot of counting in crochet. I find myself when someone tries to talk to me while I'm counting, I just get counting louder. And let's see, get these out the way, and we're going in the last of the third, and then our final corner. Go through in the front and in the back, and that is it. We're going to end it in the same way. Crochet 1, cut our yarn, and there. So as you see, we open it up, comes a larger piece, and will give us our space for our little arm. So when doing the other side, you're just going to flip it over and go right back in. And go down this side in the same way we just did the other ones. Remember, you're doing nothing with the piece where we attached. You just go from one corner and skip over to the very next corner and keep going down, just as we have been doing, attaching and lining up our double crochets and our clusters of 3 together. No different. And we'll be doing this multiple times throughout the rest of the project. So if you have any problems, come right back here and reference this section. Okay, so work this up to the end. It's going to come out looking just like this. And when we come back, we'll start the back. Okay, so here we have our back pieces. I already strung them up in the same manner in which we have been doing so. Now the only thing you have to do now from here would be to take and fold them over. Now remember, we did this 3 by 6, okay? So you take each one of your 6 length pieces. Now we have to make it into the 3 by 6 blocks. So we're going to take this in the same way that we worked up the arm. And we're going to attach it in the corner. Get our anchor piece. Well, our piece anchored. And we're going to begin. So I want you to work this up, but only on one side, because this piece is going to have to open up to be attached to the next piece. So work this all the way down the line, just on this one side. And I'll see you right back as soon as you get to the end. Okay, so here we have the first half done. So crochet all the way up the middle there. Let's see. Now we want to take this final piece and we're going to attach it on this side. Again, in the same way in which we have been doing so. And then the back piece will be completed. So work this up, starting in the corners, the same way, all the way to the end, and we'll be back to start our hood. So we have our lovely back, and this is what our back is going to look like. So for the hood is going to look exactly like this, of course, but shorter. So you're going to work it up in the same way with joining on the sides. So let's move this out the way. And I have already worked up the lines for our hood. So if you recall, I said our hood will be 3 by 4. So I have rows of 4 already put together in the same manner in which we've done everything else. So now we're going to attach this side just like we did with the back, just along here. And then we'll open that up and then we'll attach this side just along here, so it'll open up. So what I would like for you to do right now is put those two pieces together and then add on the third piece, and I will show you what that's going to look like once you have it all done. Okay, so now we have the hood part all worked up. As you can see, you're going to have to lay it flat in the places where we join, but that'll come together as we work it around. So now the hood pieces together, remember it's 3 by 4. We'll fold this up, we'll put this aside. Our last piece, the piece together, will be our pockets. Okay, so I have already worked up one pocket for you, and all we're doing is to go around in the manner in which we have, but in the bottom corners we will be putting 2 single crochets here, just so it isn't scrunched up. So we're going to get that started right now. Take 2 and just put it together. Back sides facing you. We're going to go in one of our corners. And we're going to attach our yarn. And we're going to work we'll start exactly how we've been starting. And we're going to work along exactly how we've been working along. The only thing different is when we get to the first corner, we are going to put, we are going to put 2 single crochets in the corner just to help us stretch around, so we're not making it too tight and it's bunched up. So go ahead and work in every top of the doubles. It should match up one, single, 2, 2, single, 3, 3, single. It's our last cluster before we get to the corner. 1. Ooh, I'm hooked on something else. Okay, 2. My hook is going where it wants to go right now. This is the second one. And the third one before we reach the corner. All right, now we are at the corner. So here in this corner, we just want to put 1, 2 single crochets. And the second one's going to turn the corner. Now we're going to go right back in to the first double crochet in the next set of clusters, and we're going to work that all the way around. And when we get to the next corner, we are going to put 2 single crochets in and work all the way up the next side, leaving ourselves a pocket. So we're going to go all the way around. When we get to the next corner, 2 single crochets, and we're going to stop up here. Okay, so go all the way around your square and make sure you stop at the corner. We don't want to close it off completely. So we are going to make nice little tiny pockets. Always have to have pockets. I hope you're enjoying yourself so far. We got a lot covered. We don't have much further to go. As soon as we finish the pockets, we will start putting this piece together and building our sweater. We're watching all the little pieces. 1, 2 in the corner. Don't forget 1, 2 in the corner, and you're going to go right back here in the first one, and in the first one in the back, and come right on up the side. And then when we get to the last corner, we'll just put 1 single crochet in that corner, and we will be done our pocket. But hope you enjoying yourself. It takes a lot of work to make up one of these sweaters, but it is worth it. Watching the pieces come together like a puzzle. I absolutely love puzzles, so it's probably why I love doing this so much. And the colors, when they come together, it's so pretty. So, oh, and the first one, and the second one, and the third one, and that is it. Our pocket is complete. We want to crochet up 1. I almost forgot that. And join. So here are our 2 pockets. Worked up well. So I'm going to set everything up so you can see how this is going to piece together. Okay, so I've laid out the back piece. We're going to assemble to the back piece first. So I want you to take your sides. Remember, the back piece is 3 by 6. So your sides is the piece that is 5, because we always want to make the sides 1 block shorter. So, and that's going to give way for our arm space at the top. So we're going to place both of these on here as so, and we're going to crochet up this side and crochet up this side in the same manner in which we have been doing, and I'll meet you back here once you have that done. Okay, so now that we have added our sides to the piece, you can see what it looks like now. Stretch out a little bit more. Now, this is the front. So our fronts are going to go here. Move this over some so you can see this clearly. Our fronts are going to go here. So the only thing different about the fronts is we have to place the pockets. Now the pockets are going to be placed here. So when doing the front, we have to think about two things, leaving a space here for the pockets. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go from here to here, and then I'm going to stop inside of the corners. And then we're going to go from this corner all the way up to the top so we can make space for our pockets. So I'll do one side with you, and then we'll do the next side. You should be able to do it alone. Now let's see. Start up in the corner, and we're going to crochet up 2 blocks. Now, if you're working on this piece and you're making it for a different size, which means there are more blocks, then you would have to just adjust where you're leaving your open space at for your pockets. But for this piece right here, it's going to be fine if we put it right in the middle. And some people like high pockets, some people like low pockets. So it's all about what you would like. Me, I think my perfect spot is going to be right there in the middle. So that way you can rest your hand in the pocket comfortably. So like I said, you're going to go up in the manner in which we've been doing, front, back, together, single crochet. So 1, 2, crochet. I told you it was going to be repetitive. Yes. Going over the same things over and over, but I'm telling you, once you make one of these, you can make them all. Alright, so we're going to skip the join space. I'm going to find the front, the first corner here, and the back corner here, and make a single crochet and continue on 1 crochet, 2 crochet, and 3, and keep going. See, go all the way up, and we'll stop in the corner, because remember, we do not pay attention to the join space. It is not a space for us to crochet in. So once we get to the corner, we're going to end like we would end as if it was the end of a row. We're going to go into the corner, single crochet, crochet up 1, cut our yarn, and end it off. Now we're going to go skip this 1 block. This is why everything has to be lined up. Skip that 1 block completely, and we're going to go back in at the next set of blocks. And then we're going to crochet this one out to the end. So we have now made space for our pockets. I want you to finish this row out just as we normally would. Just as if we're joining. Okay. Finish this row out as we normally would. And I want to meet me right back here, and I'll show you how to add the pockets. So do this side and the opposite side, and then we'll get to putting in the pockets, which is fairly simple. I'm pretty sure most of you already imagine how it's done, but we'll work it up on camera. That way there is no doubt how it's done. So now we have our fronts attached with the space for our pockets. So what I've done on this side is I went ahead and I placed the first pocket just so you can see how it looks. We'll be working it up around the outside here. So once you have your fronts done, I want you to take the pocket. You're going to be working on the right side. So don't be like, oh no, gotta turn around. No, you're working on the right side. So this is the side that will be out for everyone to see. So now the first thing is to place the pocket. And I'm going to try to do this where you can see as best possible. All of that in there. So I want your pocket to sit out kind of like this. Okay, so first thing, I want you to break all the rules I've said. We're going to work. Let me move the pocket out the way. We're going to work in the last join space right here. Where you join, you're going to work right here, right up under there. Okay, on both sides. So when I say go in the join space, this space right here is what I'm referring to. And in the corner space, you see the two open spaces here. You'll go in the corner space once here. You're going to go in this corner space once here. And then again where it's supposed to be here. Okay. So we're making using three single crochets, attaching this where we will be one is going to be here from this joining space to this joining space. I'm actually going to put it there now. And this open space down here where this corner is on this block, you're going to be putting in this corner as well as this corner where it's supposed to be in that same spot. So let's start by starting. We're going to attach it here so that way it stabilizes it. So I want you to go in the join space here and the join space and the pocket. Let's see if we can get this worked out without making it so difficult. But that's the only tricky parts. Using the join spaces, I said never to use. And going twice into the corner. So we're going to attach our yarn here. Find an easy spot for you to pull through. And we're going to attach it. Chain one up. Go back through that same join space. And pull back through. And make a single crochet. Just like we've started everything else. You just have to use that space. Find the back. Pull that. So it's nice and tight. It's on there. Now, this is the block where we made the space, but down here, you see it's a little open. So I want you to go through there, okay? And on our block, I want you to go through the corner, which is the next thing, the first thing you're gonna do, the corner. And I want you to make a single crochet. Okay, now we're done down here. I want you to go up here to the block that we left the space for the pocket. And I want you to go through that corner. And then we're going to go through the same corner we just used on the pocket. And we're going to make a single crochet. I hope you got that. We're going to do that again. So up here, so I'll hear it again. So now we're just going to do what we normally do. We go through the first one here and the first one here, and we're just going to go all the way up till we get to the next corner. So 2, 2, and this is the third one. Yeah, pockets can be tricky, and I don't know if you can see it as well as I would like you to. I'm going to go in the first and single crochet. And here, the second one. And the third. We're going to keep going on up until we get to the next corner in the same way that we've been. And it'll be once we get to the corner, I don't know, we'll have something different going on. We just will have to use that space to go into the corner from the block above it or below it, depending on how you see things. All right. All right, one more before I get to the corner. This is kind of tricky for me because I'm used to holding it on a different angle. Okay, now I am at my corner. So I'm going to go in the corner and go in the corner here and make a single crochet. Now I'm going to go in the corner below me and I'm going to go through the same corner here on the pocket that I just went through, and I'm going to make a single crochet. Turn your work as you need it. Now we're going to be going through the join spaces. So the join space right here, right below the pocket opening, a place that is simple to go through. I want you to go through here and then take the pocket and the join space for the pocket. Find an easy place to go through. It could be, you're basically creating your own space. So I'm going to go through there on the top of it, and I'm going to go through there and come out here and make a single crochet. That is over. So again, over here, I want us to go through the opening on the block below it and go into, on the pocket, the corner, making sure I find my corner. Okay, got my corner for my pocket. And single crochet. Now on the block where we made space for the pocket, above that, I want you to go through that corner and go through the same corner that we just went through and place another single crochet in there. See, that gives us that look. Goes right around. You can't tell. Looks like it's just supposed to be there. So now we go right back into our first ones and single crochet. Our second double crochets here and here. and our third. And we're going to keep working this all the way up until we get to our next corner in the same way we normally work up. I really hope you can see what I'm doing or catch on to what I'm doing. Rewind this part like 1,000 times. Ask me questions if you did not catch that. But again, at the corners, we're just using the pockets corners twice. We're putting two single crochets in there. One from the pocket below and one from where it's supposed to place, which is right here. So if you don't see that, you missed it somehow. I have to do a tutorial just on pockets because this is how I add in most of my side pockets, because I think it looks seamless when you have your piece all together. You really don't notice it. It blends in very well, especially if you're using the same colors. And now we're back to the corner. So right here, we're going to go into this corner and our pocket corner, which is just sitting so lovely right there. I'm going to make a single crochet. Now we're going to go below to this one, and we're going to go into that one and back into the same corner from on the pocket and make a single crochet, and we are done. Pockets all done. How we're going to end this, so when we started, you see the first single sitting up here. I want you to go inside of there. If you, for some reason, you can't make it inside there because it's tight, because mine is, you go through the second one, but technically you will go through the first. And once you get through there, you make a single crochet. Just like we would in the other blocks. Cut it and pull through. We will leave a little bit longer piece on here as we weave in our ends, but I'm just going to use my hook to weave in my ends. But if you use a yarn needle, you would want it a little bit longer so you can weave in your ends better. And there we go. We have a pocket. Let's see how it looks laying down. Pockets. That's it. Pockets. Clearly tell it they're there. That's how it's supposed to be. It looks just like one of the other blocks. So our next task would be, I want you to flip this. This is the front part. This is the part that's going to be on the outside of the coat. I want you to take it and flip it over. So you're going to expose your pockets and everything. Take it and flip it over. I'm going to pull this down here. So you have the side, the front, the side, and this is the back piece. I want you to crochet together from here to here. And this is your next piece, your next front piece to your back piece. You need to connect this from here to here. So we're going to crochet in the same manner in which we would on these two blocks together from here to here, and these two blocks together here to here. And when we come back, I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Okay, so we have now attached our top pieces on both sides, and it's going to look like that. Just that first piece from the front onto the first piece of the back, and as well on the other side. And that's what it's going to look like. So I have already I'm going to turn this on the right side, the outside of the sweater. I've already attached one of our sleeves. And this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to work with you how to attach the other sleeve. So what I want you to do is to notice, this is our other sleeve. What I want you to do is notice that this is 3 blocks. 1, 2, and 3. And our sleeve right here, and we're going to turn this on the right side. So go ahead and push that through there. This is only 2 blocks. So now we have to take the 2 blocks and make increase on this one. And we're going to decrease here. Okay, and we need to be doing this on the right side. Okay, so I'm going to push this up a little bit. And wherever end you want to be at the top, which I think I'll make this my end at the top, we're going to have to attach our yarn. And we're going to end up making this into 12. Right now we have 8 tops. You know how we joined with each cluster? We have 8 clusters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're just going to start anywhere. Just going to pick a point to go in between the clusters. We're going in between the clusters in that large space. And we're going to attach our yarn. Okay, in the same manner in which we have been attaching. Okay. Now what I want you to do from here, actually I'm going to move this all the way out the way so you don't have the colorful. So now what I want you to do from here, I want you to go up 1, 2. Okay, so we have a chain 3. So I want you to make a cluster in this space right here. 1, 2, 1. So we have a double. This one right here, the chain, counts as a double. We added 2 more doubles into that space. We'll go over here, and in this space we're going to make 3 more doubles, or clusters as I've been calling them. So after this round we should have 12. We're just going to make increases and the little forbidden spaces, as I call them, our little join spaces, and we'll end up with 12. Let's see. All right, and we are, when in the corner now, we are at our little forbidden space, which is the join spaces. So I just want you to yarn over, find any place. If some might go up through here, me, I like to go in the middle down, because you're creating a space. It might be difficult to get in there because you did make this tight, but find a space you can get into just so you can make 1 increase. Okay, so we're going to make 1 double crochet, and we're going to go right back into that same space and make another double crochet, and again into the same space and make another double crochet. All right, now we're at a corner. We're just going to go in the corner like we normally would and make a cluster. 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. And here again, 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. And let's see, into this spot, 1, 2, and 3. into the next one. 1, 2, 3, and here into this corner. 1, 2, and 3. Now into this join spot, I want you to find just any spot where you can and make an increase. 1, 2, 3. So we have now made another increase. Now we're going to go in to the corner spot and make another cluster. 3 double crochets. Spin this around, and we're going to go in here and make another cluster, and we are back at the beginning where we started. So let's see if we have what it is we needed. 1, 2, 3, 4, the one we made in the forbidden spot. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The next one we made in the forbidden spot. 10, 11, 12. So we have our 12. So now we're just going to make another row. So when we attach, our pieces aren't so close together. And don't worry about them being so close together. You will not see that. So I want you to slip stitch into the top of the where we started, the chain 3. Chain 1 up. I want you to go down in this spot and make 1 chain. 2, and 3. That is our first double. And we're going to go in there 2 more times. So this row is just a make it clean row. So when we attach, we'll be attaching by the clusters just how we've been attaching. But I don't want it to be so bunched up so you're able to see what's going on. So you're just going around in this round, just in your open spots. Putting 3 double crochets in each. Now where you come to where you made your increase, you just want to pull that apart, and you'll have 3 on one side, 3 on the other, and you'll see your hole, and you just go in there 3 times. Okay. And on this side, just pull it apart. You should be able to see your hole. So I realized when I first made a granny square sweater that the arms around the coat part were larger than blocks that I had for the arms. So I had to come up with a way in order to attach them looking natural. So I make little sleeves. Sometimes I do it straight from the jacket part and then just attach this part. And sometimes I do it this way, broken in 2, just to make it look seamless. Because once you attach this, you will not be able to tell where you will be able to see the extra gray or whatever color you're using, but it won't look as if you have done all this nonsense in order to get that seamless look, because you're going to attach it in the same way. 1, 2, 3. Go all the way around. Just trust me. I'll show you the other one up close. Once you get this on, you'll see for yourself. You can't tell we've done all of this. Find your next hole, separate them if you have to where you have increased. Make sure you don't miss that spot, and you'll be off on your numbers, and when you go to attach, your clusters won't line up. So it's pretty much, in my opinion, we're making a little sleeve area, just a little, so you can fit this in. And just remember that this gives your arm part length. So when you're making this, if you're making this for a different size, just be mindful of that. You might not want to do as many rows as I am. I'm doing 2 here, and I will do 2 on the coat. Or you might just want to adjust when you get to the end part of your sleeve and you're making your border, just to make sure you don't have your sleeve isn't like all the way down here. And we're going to find the top to the first chain of 3, slip stitch in there, chain 1, break that, and we should have 12 all together. Always count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. So we're going to put this sleeve aside for a minute. We're going to get our coat back down here. And remember, we are working on the front of the coat, because we work on the back of the coat. Get our hood out of here. If we work on the back of the coat, on the inside, the wrong side, then our stitches will be the stitches how it looks on the back end. So we want to make sure we're working in the front of our piece. So this first row, I won't say is a little tricky. I'm going to take on add. But we're just going to be doing something different inside the corners to decrease, because here we're going to decrease. Okay, so I'm just going to attach this here in the middle. So once we get that on, pull tight. And so crochet 1 up, go in the hole, single crochet 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to make another cluster. 1, 2 more doubles, and our chain of 3 gives us 1 cluster. We're going to move right along into the next space. Two and 3. Now we come to our corner. Now this is where we're going to be doing something different. So I'm trying to decrease. So what I like to do is I will not be working clusters in any of my corners. So I'm going to take and put 1 double crochet in the first corner. Okay? 1 double crochet in the first corner. And then we have this spot right here, which is the corner. We put 1 in this corner. We're going to put 1 in this adjoining corner right here, and it's an open space. It should be a wide open space, kind of larger than normal, and that's the corner of the block right next to it. And we're going to put a double crochet in there. So then we have the square above that. We have a corner. Find our corner right here. We're going to put 1 double crochet there. So that gives me a decrease, but it also will work as a cluster. Okay, although separated, this is going to function like a cluster. So when we're done, when we go back around again, we will be going in this hole and in this hole, because we will count these 3 as a cluster. So now we're just going to continue on as normal and go in the next hole. 1, 2, and 3. And the next one. We're going to keep going till we get to the next corner, and we're going to do the same thing we just did here, but let us get there together. 2, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now we are at our next corner. So we have to make a cluster of 3. How we will be doing that is we will be using this corner and putting 1 here. The forbidden zone in the join, we will put 1 double crochet there, and we put 1 double crochet in this corner. So let us do that. First corner, double crochet, forbidden zone, where just find the space you can slip in and put a double crochet. And in this corner right here, you'll put a double crochet, and that is what it'll look like. And again, we will consider those 3 clusters and work around them in our next row. And we are going to go in here 3 times. Just keep working around. By the end of this round, we should have 12. We will count them and make sure. Let's see. Now we are back at, are we? Yes, we are back at another corner. And we're going to treat that in the same fashion. 1 double crochet in this corner, 1 double crochet in the forbidden zone, wherever you can put it, and 1 double crochet here. So we're going into the corner, 1, anywhere in the join where you can find the space, 2, and anywhere in, well, in the corner, 3. Again, our 3 clusters, broken up clusters, but clusters just the same. No, see, I am so human, I make mistakes. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my last cluster before I got to my corner. I have made a mistake. So what we're doing is we're going into this corner. Then you see the block right next to it. We're going here in this space, which would be the corner. See, it's a corner space. And then we're going in this corner. So my apologies. So 1 in this corner. The next block right next to it, that big wide open space, we're going there. 1. And then the block right here, we have another corner, we're going to go in here. Oh. And there we have our cluster of 3 and our decrease. And again, you will not see any of the broken clusters will blend in fine. That's why we're going to do 1 more row up above this. So when we're joining them together, we don't have that look with the broken one. So you're going to end that at the top of your first chain 3. We should have 12. Let us count. So we have 1, 2, 3, because it counts as 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the last one 12. Perfect. So in our next row, we're just going around we're just going to go around in each space. So I want you to chain one up, go in the space, and chain 1, 2, 3. That is our first double. We're going to count as it. 2, second one, and 3. So now I just want you to go around in each space and make a cluster of 3. Remember, when you get to the broken ones, you just want to go around as if they are regular clusters, and you're just going to work on either side of them. Do not mistakenly go in between them. 1, 2, 3. You're only going in every 3 sets. We're treating that, even though they're broken apart, like a cluster. Okay. Keep working around. Until you get back to the beginning. I think this part, when I went to do the other sleeve, I realized I don't write patterns. So I had to think of the perfect way to explain how I decrease or increase in order to get the proper number to attach the sleeve. And that actually put me to a pause, because I realized I don't think about it. I usually just complete the act and work it however I need to work it in order to get to the same number on either side. So I actually had to put thought and write down a small little pattern for this join. And I don't like patterns. I can follow patterns, but I'm a visual person. So I like to see something and then create it. Be it see something through a picture and rework it out in my head how to do it. Now remember, we're going to treat that as a cluster, 1, 2, 3, and jump on the other side. So I have never crocheted by pattern. Visual patterns are perfect. I can watch someone do something and recreate it, or look at a picture and say, oh, I like that, and come up with the best way in my head that it would go about, I would go about making that piece. So we're going to attach right at the top of the third chain, chain 1. Going to break off now. And again, because we are human and we make mistakes, we're going to count, because we don't want to go trying to put this piece to this piece and then everything's not right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. So now we're going to add our sleeve on, and we're going to join it at the clusters like we have been. So when adding the sleeve, you want to turn your work back on the wrong side. You are now working, attaching this piece on the wrong side. We have flipped it over, wrong side. This piece you want to leave on the right side. You want to leave your sleeve on the right side. And insert your sleeve through the right side, because see, when you're done, you're going to go like that, and ooh, it'll be on. So you want to put your sleeve in here like that, and as you see, it pretty much is a fit. You're just going to go all around here, attaching cluster to cluster, 1, 2, 1, 2, well, 1, 2, 3, just like you have been attaching everything. It'll match up perfectly. But the only thing I want you to be aware of when you are attaching a sleeve, we have blocks. Everything is kind of uniform. And this is a join. And there's a join down here. I like to attach my sleeves so that this join here is as flush as possible with the join here. So, I mean, nothing is perfect, but when I attach my sleeves, I like to line it up so that it looks as seamless as possible, and it keeps the thing going. So if everything else is lining up, I don't want my sleeve to be sitting with the joins this way when everything is going this way on the coat. So when I turn it around, the seam will keep flowing right down. So it's really simple to do. You know, it might not be 100% perfect, but who's judging for perfection? If you are, then I am not the person to be watching. So listen, you're going to match this part with this part here. And once you put it there, everything else should pretty much line up. You shouldn't have to worry about it. It will be as perfect as it could possibly be. And once you have that where you want it, it doesn't matter where. Just go and find a starting spot, which will be in the top of one of the clusters, but always begin at the beginning of a cluster. And you just want to match that up with a cluster over here. Okay. And the third one over there. And we're going to join our yarn on here like we have been doing. Got my anchor. Go through now. I still want to, where am I at? Hard for me to see. Okay, gray on gray on gray. So I want to chain one. Go on the second one, find the second one, and there you go. Second one here, third one here, third one here, and it will add up all the way around. So you find the first one here. This might be hard for you to see, but we've been doing this. You find the first one here and single crochet. You find the second one here and just keep going all the way around. And this is why we made the second row. So we're not trying to do this with our broken clusters or with the clusters on the increase where they're kind of like bunched up together. So you always make that extra row, that way you don't have that problem or confusion. So I want you to keep going around and joining these cluster to cluster, 1 2 3, all the way down the line, same way we've been. And I'll meet you back around when you're done. Okay, so now we turn this on the right side, flip that back, and you see our sleeve. So if you see what I was saying, you don't see all the nonsense where it was just 3 separated clusters. You don't see any of that. It looks great. Okay, so that is how we join our sleeve. Of course, I've done my other one, so you can go ahead and attach your other one. And note what I was saying. When you line it up, how this is a join and it continues on right down the sleeve. Okay, so that's why I said line that up, because that piece it just looks better. It just follows it all the way out. It's keeping with the pattern. All right, now this is another tricky thing. Almost as tricky as the sleeves, but really not. Because this is where I want you to use your um your talents to figure this one out with me. So the hood. The next to attach is our hood. Another thing that I really don't think about, I just do it. So you can just open up your coat. Just right here, open it up. Now, if you notice, we have 1, 2, 3 blocks. We're going to be putting the hood from here all the way to here. Okay. Our hood, bum, ba, 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 is 4 blocks. So how will we ever do this? Well, I'm not going to add additional pieces on this. I am just going to make it work. Okay. So from here to here, I'm going to start here. And if you can see this with me, I'm going to go here. I'm going to, well, I'm probably going to start on the other side, but I want you to see, I want you to place your block here. If I was to do that, all the little extra spaces like down here, they all are fillers, okay? Because we want to cover that whole area. And this block, we want to end on the first block of the front, okay? You want to begin on the first block of the front of your coat, and you want to end on the last block, the first block you want to end, okay? And as you see, it's pretty much can fit just like that without adding. This is why I do not add anything. Now, if you have pins and you want to pin this along so you can pretty much get it in the right spot, do that. All we're going to do, but I think you can pretty much see really, really well that that is how we're going to attach single crochets all the way down the line. So I want to start in the corner here, and I'm going to go in the corner here. I'm trying to hold it like this so you can see what it is I'm doing and how I'm going to make this work. Duplicate this as best as possible, but just get that thing up there. You also can take a crochet yarn needle. I'm going to go back through here just so we can lock this on. You could take a crochet yarn needle, and if you choose to, you can just put your gray yarn on the needle and sew it up that way. But if I'm crocheting, I want to crochet, okay? So I tend not to do that. If you would like to do that, that might make it simpler for you. And I'm all about simplicity. So I want you to make it as easy as possible for yourself. Me, I'm good enough to where I'm just going to hold this and just work it along. There may be some spots where I might have to go in twice, in one spot, just to keep it uniformed the way I would like for it to be. There are some places that, say, like right here, I'm going to go through the top one here. Okay, I'm going to show you what I mean. But then I have a larger join space here and then here. So I'm going to use this 2 times, and that's how I'm going to make things work. I'm going to go in there for that, and then I'm also going to go in there for the next stitch for the one behind it. But again, you can use your yarn needle, in which case you're just going to go and just make sure you secure it closed well enough. You do not want anything open in the back, excuse me, anything open in the back in which it would not be attached all the way. Okay, so I really hope you can see this good. I'm trying to hold it because I would definitely not be holding it like this normally. And we're just going to keep going down the line. And again, I am semi-stretching the front piece so I can achieve what it is that I want. So if that means that I have to go into a section in the front more times to cover the area in the back, which is more, then at this point, that's what I'm going to do. If this sounds too complicated for you, please get your yarn needle, pin this up, attach it with your yarn needle. It will be far more easier for you. Like I said, if I'm crocheting, I'm crocheting. So I don't want to do that for this piece. I want it to be crocheted all the way out. And I also want to go back and add in even for the pockets. You can put the pockets in with the crochet needle, with the yarn needle, I should say, because that would make it simpler instead of trying to get it in the way I did. But everyone has their own way of working things, and it's about working things what's best for you. And I'm just here to show you how I achieve some of my work and give you ideas. So my word is not set in stone, people. I'm just here to help spark inspiration in someone, because I find inspiration in so many crochet artists. I've seen beautiful work. And you see that? There you go. It's getting on there. We're almost done. And if you're doing this the way I'm doing it and you haven't pinned it down like me because you just like to do things the hard way, then I just want you to double check your work and always go back and make sure, yep, that's going to line up. Because if you have to adjust in any way, adjust. And I'm still skipping over my join areas. I'm still not going through those for this attachment. This is coming along beautifully. And here. So I am at my halfway point, and I just want to make sure, again, yep, I'm on track. Let me pull this up here, because if I hold here, then I don't have to check again. And you see, it's just, I put it mesh back to back, and I just keep going. So again, if I have to go in one area 2 times in order to catch every single double at the top, then that's what I do, how I make this work. Alright. When I get to the end of this block, I will be double checking to make sure I am where I'm supposed to be. And you can do that as well. And it should be by the time I get to this last block, which is coming up, I should be able to just work that one block right on top of the other block like we've been doing. last corner. Yep. And I made it, folks. All right, so here we have what I have attached. Now I'm pretty much just block to block right here because they have lined up perfectly. This block and that block. So I'm going to go in this corner and go over here. And the home stretch. Yeah, so this is how I add a hood. If for some reason you are working a piece and you're like, no, I don't want a hood, then no worries. Just don't put a hood on it because I'm going to line this around with a border. I think I'll do a ridge border on this one, just like I did on my last piece. And if you don't have a hood because you decided that's not what you wanted, the look you were going for, then when we do the ridge, you just work it all the way around because we're going to work from one end to the other. And if you don't have any hood, then you'll just be going right along here and it'll still work up beautiful. So if you decide to go without the hood, you can still just skip this part, of course, because you would not be putting on a hood. And the next step is for you as well. You would just keep going right along, back and forth. And that is it. We have made it to the end. Let me chain up one. Almost forgot. 1, 2, 3. So now, people, we have hood. There is hoodage afoot. Okay, so now all we are left to do is making our border. Now, imagine, but this is like this. This is like that. It's like that. So we have a huge space to cover with this border. So we are going to be making up the border. And the first thing we're going to do before we do anything, because we'll be doing front and back posts for our ridged border. So what we are going to do first, attach, attach in the corner. Okay, 1 chain, 2, and 3. So we're going to make a chain of 3 on there once we attached. And all we're going to be doing is going into the corner space. The clusters of 3, you're going to go on top of every double crochet. So we are no longer in clusters. We are doing on top of every double crochet, we want to put a double crochet. So we have 3. And we want to follow right on over to our next cluster. And we're going to work on top of every double crochet. We are going to put a double crochet. So we're just going to go all the way around our piece just like this. Just like this. Now, this is the cozy part. No more piecing together. We are now done that portion. We can breathe a sigh of relief, sip our coffee, and just relax. Now, when we get to a corner, you're going to go in that corner, okay, and make it a double crochet. Now, we cannot ignore our join spots here, else we'll have a hole in the middle of our border. We don't want a hole in the middle of our border. That's a no-no. So we're going to find any place in the top of our join space, and we're going to put one double crochet. And then when we finish with that, we should be right back at a corner. So we're going to hit our corners and then go right in the back into the top of the next double crochet. So just remember, when you get to corners, you're going to go in the corner with one double crochet. And when you get to the join space, you're going to go in the top of that join space wherever you can, and you're going to put one double crochet. And you're going to do this all the way up here. And don't forget, when you get to the join space up here, you want to go in each possible space, because where you have added your hood, now if you have not added a hood, you want to continue the same way in which I'm saying now. But if you have added a hood, then you have an extra little space right here. You can see this. And in here, you want to go in the corner, in the join space, and in the corner. It's pretty much the same thing, okay? You don't want to, because it's going to look seamless. It's going to go like this. So you want to go in that space and just make sure you don't miss any spaces where your hood is. And when you're going around your hood, again, use your creativity. If you think I should put 2 here because it looks too spacious, because everyone crochets different. That's what everyone has different tension. Everyone has a different style. Not as many people not all people crochet tight. Some people crochet a little bit loose. So if you have a space that looks too open, and once you put one single crochet there, it doesn't look it doesn't fill that space, then just put another. Okay, we're just looking to fill the spaces. So when we start doing our front and our back posts, everything looks good. So again, we're just going to keep going up. And I want you to do this all the way up and around your whole jacket, all the way back till you get to the bottom. And then we'll come back and we're going to not end your work. Do not break off your yarn. We are going to turn it around and go back around again and front and back posts. And that will be how we end this piece. And as you're going to see, as we block it with that, it's just going to pop. It's something about a piece once bordered, any piece, once you border it, it just sets everything off. So keep going around, and I will meet you back here once you get to the end, because that's a replacement of a double. We're going to turn our work around now, okay? And now we're going to start doing front and back posts. So this right here is already going to count as 1. Now I want you to go behind, and watch me again. I'm going behind the double crochet, and I'm going to make another double crochet. Now I'm going to cross over, and I'm going to go behind, and I'm going to make a double crochet. And I'm going to go back to the front, and I'm going to go behind that one and make a double crochet. And I'm going over here, and I'm going to reach around from the back. See, and then I'm going to grab and pull through and make a double crochet. And this is going to be how we're going to create our ridge pattern. So again, go behind this one. This is going to give us a front post. Double crochet, and here we're going to reach behind, and that is going to give us a back post. Okay, so we're going to keep working our front and our back posts, and we're going to do this oh so many times. Remember, work it all the way around your piece, all the way around your piece. When you come to the end, chain 3, turn your work, and go right back around. So you're going to follow in the same suit. So I will come back and show you what that looks like, and we're going to do this. Now, if you've never done front and back post crochet, you should check my video, because I have one up, so you can see how to do this. It's quite simple. You just have to get in the hang of it. It's still making a double crochet in the exact same way. You're just either going from behind it, like that, and this way, behind it, this way. So if you need more work on that, you can check out my tutorial. And other than that, we're going to keep on moving. So I'll come back and show you how we're going to start off, how we're going to end this row and start back off with our next one, because we're just going to be repeating this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I also want to add real quick, if for some reason you don't want to go back and forth, then remember, use your creativity. You can always have another row of blocks and do more blocks in your front. I only do 1 row in my front because I like this. Do 2 rows. Have I done one like that? No. But everything is trial and error. Use your creativity and see what you get. But I love how this looks going back and forth and on my hood. And I will actually come back and show you how to start off the next row. One, two, 3. Okay, I have come to the end. Shh. Okay, excerpt her making noise. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I have come to the end. So I just want to show you how we're going to end it. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3. We're going to turn our work. And then I just want you to follow this out, this pattern out all the way through, okay? All the way through. Front post going, front post, back post going, back post, and you're just going to keep going, okay? All the way around. And I have to judge by my eye how many times I want to go around this. So, okay, we're going to exit out all of the noise making from the baby. 3, 4. Okay, everybody, so at this point, we should have gone around our piece. I decided that I like to go with 8 rows. So from the beginning of where we first put the double crochets in to the front and back post, it'll be a total of 8 rounds. So you're going to go back and forth around 8 times. I have tried this on my model quite a few times now. And that is what she likes. So we're going to go with that. Try it on whatever piece you're making, and you'll know what's best for you. This right here looks beautiful on her. We're going to go with that. Now, I was going to stop to make pockets, but she decided she didn't want, not pockets. I was going to stop to make buttonholes, but she decided she did not want buttonholes. So on my next project, I'll make sure no matter what, I put some buttons in it so you can see how to do buttonholes. But it's fairly simple. When you're coming around wherever you're going to place your buttonholes at, if you say this is the front and you want one here, 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 spread them out, you would literally just skip 2 to 3. You would just chain 2 to 3, skipping 2 to 3 double crochets. It would all depend on the size of the button that you're using, and then pick back up and just place it. And if this was me and I was making it, I would have put it here on line with the middle cluster, colored cluster, and here on line with that one, and so forth and so on. And then I would have placed something on this side to mark where my buttons would go. But we'll work on that on another project. I like this one like this, but this is the part where you customize it and make it your own. But I'm thinking I might put a belt on this one. I don't know. I don't know what kind of character I'm going to give it from here, but this is the basic sweater. But we are not done. We have to come to the bottom, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to take our yarn. I'm going to turn this around here. Now we're going to put a bottom border on in the same way we put this one on. We will not be making it as long unless you would like yours to be that long. And we're going to find the end. And join our yarn just like we've been joining. And chain up 1, 2, and 3. Now for this portion right here, which is why I'm going over this, you are going to have to guesstimate where to put your double crochets, because we do not have holes here. Like we already have the cluster holes at the top of the double, and we know we're going to go in all the corners, and we're going to go in the top of the cluster all the way around, and we're also going to go in to the forbidden spot at the top of the joint. But here we have no true destination of where our double should go. So we want to move along this area right here in a way in which we just place them nicely spaced a piece. There's actually little spaces here, so I'm just going to place one in each one. It will even out once we start making front and back posts, but you're just going to keep going down the line. There's no real order or number, I should say, that you're going to place in here. You're just going to evenly place them out. You just want to make sure when you put them in there, they're not bunched up together, and that they're evenly placed out, so where there's not huge gaps in between. So maybe one space might get more than it should, but just randomly kind of throw them in there. There you go. So it should look like everything that's there, it's supposed to be there. Just want to make sure you find a space and just put it in. If you feel like a space is too open, like I put 2 here, I put 2 in here, space was too open, then that's what you want to do. But it should just wind up looking even. Now once you get back to your blocks, it goes in the same fashion that we've gone around gone around the piece here. When we first started, we're going to do this. So go all the way around, finding the corner, one on top of each double corner, and then there's going to be join. And each one of those spaces gets a double crochet. So if you can go over all of that and put the same after this first row, when you come back around just like we did here, you're going to put front and back posts in. And I will come back and show you how many rows I worked up in front and back posts after this row. But keep going across. And don't forget to go inside each of the joins. At the top and the best possible place for you to go through. It's my join. Mine is being difficult. Okay, so you're going to make sure you go through each one, even the joins, and then skip over, not skip over, but then come over and find the next corner. So I am going to go get me another cup of coffee because clearly I'm not ready yet. And you go ahead and finish that up, and when we come back, I'll show you how many rows that I've made up in my bottom border. And you'll repeat and do the same unless you want yours longer or shorter. Okay. I already have jumped ahead because I have a little model which I have to try it on and make sure it's fitting her well. So I went ahead and did the sleeves, the arms around the wrist. And on these ones, I have done 2 rows. I only did 2 rows because the sleeves are long for her. So I didn't want to go any further than that. Normally, I like a chunky cuff. But here we have 2. You can always do more if you want. Just remember to try it on. And that's pretty much it. Now we're going to do something I don't like, and I'm only going to do it once just to show you. We're going to take our yarn needle, and we're just going to feed it with yarn. Just give it something. And this is going to be how we're going to tuck in everything. Okay? You just go in, find any place. Any place. I just want to pull that on there, and we're just going to weave in our ends back and forth. Make sure you get around the pockets on the inside, on your sleeve. Just go back and forth. I usually don't weave in my ends, so I don't have long strands of yarn, and this is why you might want to cut your yarn off long at the end. I usually don't do this. I'm just doing it to show you. So you would weave in all of your ends. Once you have it weaved in, tuck it, clip that off. Make sure you do around your sleeves. Because I already tucked mine. Around your sleeves. Let's do this one. I kept this one long for this reason, so I could demonstrate weaving in your ends. The fun part is if you haven't weaved in all your ends from your granny squares, you'll have to do that at this point because your outside of your coat, you want to look lovely if you don't have any extra. So like I said, you're just going to go through anywhere. But if you don't have any extra fly pieces of yarn hanging around, it really is going to make it look beautiful. So you have to make sure you clean all of that up. So you're just going back and forth wherever you want to, just to tuck your yarn up and out of the way. So when I do weave in my ends, I like to go one way, turn around, go back and forth through a couple times, and come out. That's it. That's good enough for me. All right, and then just cut the string. So make sure you do all of that. Weave in your ends. The cups on the wrist got 2, bottoms got 4, sides got 8. And in here, I also want to, for you to make sure that you sew down your pockets. Because if you don't sew down your pockets, they will bounce back and forth. And it's going to take away from what you've done. So I just made a knot. And I'm just going to secure it by the corners. That's it. If you want to work it all the way around, that's fine. Just be mindful not to go into any colors and try to keep it right where the block already is so you won't see it. I think this will be sufficient enough just to anchor it on the ends. Well, on the corners. It is good. So you want to do both pockets. Anchor it down. Scissors. Weave in all your ends, all of this lovely mess. Don't forget to do your hood. And the next time we see this piece, it'll be on our lovely model. And maybe I'll have decided if I'm going to put a belt on it by then. If so, you'll see that then. If not, then this is how it ends. And I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I'll see you. And again, after I tuck down everything, and we'll see if we can find a model for this. All right. Okay, everybody. So here we have our final piece, and this is our model, Nevaeh. Say hi, Nevaeh.
Hi.
Okay, so we have the hood, and if you notice, I decided to go with the belt. I put loops on the side, sewed them down, as you see. Look at her. She's modeling it well. Can you turn around? Can you take the hood off? Yeah, I love this piece. Absolutely love it. Can you spin around for me slowly just so they can see how it looks with the hood down? Paws in the back. I absolutely love how this piece looks with the belt. The video just does not do it justice. This is one of my favorites. The gray brings out the colors so well. It looks, let me get a little bit up on you if you don't mind if I get close. If you can see how let me see your sleeves. Can you show off your cuffs? I put a small hem on the cuffs. I went with the ridge stitch, and I think it really is lovely. Can you turn around for me? Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Do you love it?
Yes.
All right, awesome. All right, so there you have it. We have our gray granny square sweater. Awesome. Thank you. Hi everybody. I hope you love this video. It took so long to do. So long that my baby said, "No, mommy, you will get me while you do your outro because I want to be with you." And I have my little toddler in the background also like, Mom, where are you? Okay, so I have spent so much time with you guys working up this tutorial. I hope you love it. I hope you got a good understanding of how to put it together. I have 2 more, I think, videos coming with the same theme. These ones will be adult. One will be small, one will be large. That way we cover everybody and everybody can get what it is that they would like to wear out of this. Okay, so I have to go. It's baby time. I enjoyed you. Thank you for coming to my cozy, cozy, cozy corner. Now I'm going to go find my cozy corner with my little munchkin. You all have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Don't forget, subscribe, like this, share it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, people.